Hey guys, how's it going? Vampy here, and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. So we just finished the investigation of Robo-Justice, and we're about to go find out who killed Taka and Hifumi, because we had 2 deaths this time. Also, to let you guys know, even though this will be a lot of voice acting involved, because this part has the voice acting, if it comes to a point where I have to speak in a voice acting position, I will not be doing so, just because my voice is completely, like, wrecked right now, and I don't know why. My throat just hurts really bad. I think I'm coming down with something. It's not fun. So, let's just go ahead and get on with the trial and find out who killed them. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
Hello, hello, hello! He's multiplied?
Wrong!
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get in the elevator already?
Boy!
You're not playing along. Along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the plane, train, or elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please!
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet. Oh yeah, because everyone thinks it's Hero.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, Hero. You're gonna have to pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already, I didn't do it for serious. That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume or the note? I could do hers because it's like really easy. Well no, but... How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit. Hey. This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down to there. Let's get down there first. Then then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the 2 who have lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka, the one who killed 2 of our friends. The killer is... someone right here. I took one last breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk toward the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be great. Okay, the clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator door slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. Well, when I see you all gathered here like this, I realize just how few of you are left. The school's life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you. Why? Why are you making us do such cool things to each other?
What?
Well, what? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute. He is adorable. Like, I want a Monokuma plushie so badly. Like, I have it on my Amazon wish list. I can't not.
Come on.
Stop keeping around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed flash trial after the commercial break. That makes me think of something, but I won't say anything. I never hold out on you like that, so let's begin. Get to your assigned seat. And so the curtain opened up once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Yes, I would like to save, because words. So, before we continue right now, I just have to say something. So I have seen this game before, as I've said previously, as I've played it. I've also seen the second game. And I've also seen the Despair Girls game. I basically, anything Danganronpa I have seen. So this past week, the Danganronpa 3 anime released and aired in Japan, and it's streaming on Funimation. So if you know all the stuff, like, don't go into it without seeing the second game. You don't really have to see Goodbye, the Despair Girls one, but because I mean, it does and doesn't involve some of it, like, yeah. But anyway, I watched the Future arc and Despair arc this week, and I just have to say, like, I just love this series so much. I love Danganronpa. Like, it's gotta be my top on my favorite list of games. Like, no doubt about it. Okay, so let's get back into the class trial. I'm not gonna spoil anything about the series. I just want to say that it's amazing, and if you love this series just as much as I am, definitely check it out over on Funimation, as they're streaming it there. Okay, let's look at the treat bullets. So we had the Monokuma file number 3, the blue tarp, repository dolly, Hifumi's glasses, the spotless hammer, the repository door, the equipment room bloodstain, glasses cleaning cloth, Celeste's account, Yasuhiro's message, Robo-Justice blueprints, the Robo-Justice costume, Yasuhiro's account, broken wristwatch, Kyoko's scrap of paper, Kiyotaka's, sorry, scrap of paper, the note Hifumi had, and the e-handbook. Okay. So we got all that. Do we have any more skills that we gained? I don't remember if we've gained any. I know we skipped a couple free times this, oh, we got handiwork. I know we skipped a couple free times, so. Okay, finish the preparations. Let's begin the class trial. Thank God I don't have to talk
Let's begin
much.
with a basic explanation of the If you can fit in, I'll punish everyone now then.
We already know who did it.
Was that?
Was that? Just love how he
It was
said that.
Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
Is Hiro really the killer, or before anything else, we have to make that clear. Okay. This is gonna be tough. That's all I gotta say. I already suck at all this stuff. Okay, Yasuhiro's message is the only bullet.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
I mean, looking at the blueprints, the handwriting is awful messy. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting is...
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts.
No, it's wrong.
Okay, I was unsure what the lie was there, but I guess that was
Are
it.
we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
That's true, that could happen.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
He's also got a point.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he is not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
Well, at least Byakuya is on our side.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit?
I mean, obviously it was Hiro.
Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
I mean, of course he passes it off to me.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
I mean, obviously it was Hiro. The Illuminati. Fucking serious.
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense! You just said Hiro didn't do it!
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What?
Now that's a bold assumption.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
But I agree with Byakuya. We should just,
So
yeah.
what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
The things that we used to move Taka's body, they were the repository dolly
I got it!
and the tarp. The tarp. It was tarp.
I got it!
Got it
They were
times 2.
a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right?
Yeah, but
It
Hifumi's
was the
body
same
wasn't.
tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment
That's
room.
weird.
So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
True.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
I
There
know
is
how to
no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around
Damn,
you.
Celeste. Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. But maybe I can change your mind. I know why. Okay, a new element has. Oh no. No, please. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with the next bullet time battle, you're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom screen underneath the tempo marker, you'll see an ammo count. Up until now, there hadn't been no... Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Tab key, gotcha. Wait, don't tell me we're doing a bullet time battle now, because I can't. Ah, hell, we are doing a bullet time battle. Fucking hell, this is gonna be horrible.
You have it wrong. I I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You miserable wretch.
Oh, we're getting absolutely fucked.
You had it wrong. I cannot agree.
Okay, Jesus.
I cannot agree.
Fucking
This should
Christ.
prove it.
That was so hard. Ugh, I don't like it like that. I was just clicking for my life.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
Yeah, I'm not sure that really matters either.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? At least there's only one
As
bullet.
we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Yes.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp,
Yes.
then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
But you couldn't, because Hina tried on the suit. Or was it Hina or Makoto that pointed out that you can't bend at the waist?
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together, remember?
I'm blinded to that in here. I can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Okay, so Hina, yeah, pointed out that you can't bend
When
at
you're
the
in
waist.
that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that costume, you couldn't take it off by yourself.
I got it!
Because Hiro was
I don't
cracking
think
it.
taking
Oh
off
my
the
god,
suit
my
was an
health is so
option.
low.
If you remember,
Yeah, because there was a clasp on the back. See, he wouldn't have been able to
It
That's the
seems
class
impossible
either.
to put the suit on or take it off without him.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How'd you get hurt? Guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our
Why is
lives
Genocide
are
Jack
on the
here?
line. If
I
this is
just
what
noticed
it takes,
that.
we
I'm
have
not
to do
upset
it.
about it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Because she's the killer. No, just kidding.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving around the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Plus, it's wrong. There's a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him nursing. Okay, yeah, we already saw all this.
and then... At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us, and she told us something very surprising.
Fumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth in this case, I have to find them no matter what. Alright, let's turn this back on. Off of auto. Okie dokie. Okay, monochrome file 3 is apparently. Well,
So,
then again.
regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that
That's not what I
Hifumi
meant to
was
do.
killed
I was
with
trying to get
Justice
rid of
Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Okay, the Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order?
So, regarding Taka's death...
Hold on 1 second. I need to figure out space key control weak spots.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Right, what is her...
Shoot!
Dang it.
So,
What is the thing?
I wonder if
or perhaps it was after.
we already know what order they were killed in.
What the heck? What is the... I'm so confused.
Shoot!
Oh, and my thing just went all the way down.
So, regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if he... Or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
The Justice Hammers were numbered, but I'm so confused. Hold on. I'm so confused.
I wonder if he died before, or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the...
There we go.
No, it's wrong.
I was trying to figure out how to absorb the bullet, and I was like, I cannot remember for the life of me how to do it.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
That's true.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something that relates to the time. His wristwatch. Yes. Oh, damn it. Hangman's Gambit. No, please. Okay, I'm gonna assume... Okay, yeah, it's wristwatch. H. Perfect.
Now I understand. I got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
it must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
yeah, he had pointed out that it was like 10 o'clock, yeah.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
Yeah, so the Justice
That
Hammers
simple
couldn't
fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those Justice Hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
So Celeste and Tina were with us when Hifumi died in the
When we
nurse's
heard
office.
Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko.
Were
Then we
out
all
there
ran down to the
somewhere
nurse's
with us?
office. And that's where we found his body.
I don't remember, to be honest.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
Were we focusing
And
on
it does
Taka,
not
though?
stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct?
Yes.
And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body.
Yeah, although she has like superhuman strength.
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
We could have not been gone for more than a minute or two. Yeah, that seems a little unrealistic. Oh, sorry for the outing, guys. I'm exhausted for some reason. Even though I
his
took a
body
nap today.
apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
It's a zombie.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... goat!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is... we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That's a good point.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? What are we doing? Broken. What?
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Oh, fuck.
Shoot!
What happens now? Because... taking so much damage. No! I failed! Oh god, what happens when I fail? Uh-oh, we've already come to the end of the debate. Well, oh my god. What happens when I think I failed once before, but I don't remember. It would appear that the one with the most votes is Makoto. Oh no. On the other hand, everyone else must now be punished.
Is this really the end for all of us?
Yes, I would love to give it another shot. Okay, they gave me 5 hearts. Thank God. Okay, let's try
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discussed. Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I'm rethinking my truth
When
bullet
we
here.
first found there's a chance you...
No, Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found,
Okay, yeah, I see it.
and that is why the announcement.
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found
Hifumi in the...
there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Okay.
No, it's wrong.
I'm glad I got that. I thought about that for a second.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We were asking if you were a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Yeah, it was made
Exactly.
twice.
We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
First time it played, it was when we found the body. Each body in the nurse's office and equipment was when we discovered when both bodies were
I got
rediscovered.
it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies. It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
But Hifumi came back to life for a
So
second,
when we
that kinda
found
bothers me.
Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
Thank you, Genocide Jill, for
That
that
is the worst
very...
logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it. It's the... I know what it is. What are we doing? Okay, another... Yes, that is it.
Well, here's one thing we do. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
That's
No,
wrong.
it's wrong.
Because his glasses were different.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Evidence that I found in the trash can, it was the
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's corpse was Hifumi.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Yeah.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
Found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find. Yeah.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Apologies. I wasn't paying attention, so I'm just gonna
That's
go
right!
for it.
Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy! Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right? Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
And Genocide Death is seriously scary, but I can't let her get to me. Oh, please no. Please. For the love of God. I was like, please don't tell me I'm doing another bullet time battle. Okay.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Yes, it does because it's broken script.
No! There absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. You've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that...
No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Proof that they stole the note. The ripped paper.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note...
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
Sorry,
He's
no.
definitely dead.
When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Why is she calling her a walrus?
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
Gosh, this is gonna be a
Weapon?
long trial. It's already been like
Yeah,
nearly an
because
hour.
I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments.
But yeah,
But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers?
I know where the hammers came from.
Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
That doesn't
Those
matter.
were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I mean,
I don't
yes
think
and
it is
no.
possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding. Somehow we have to find the truth.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
I love the music in this thing.
Was it Justice Hammer 3?
No.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Ow.
Well, whatever it was,
No.
there's one thing we have to figure out.
No.
How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Fudge. Nugget. Okay. Sorry. I done goofed there.
What was used? Was it maybe Justice?
Well, there's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody... Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about... Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
There you go, guys. Check out
Well,
that.
one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
There we go.
No,
That's our
it's wrong.
competition.
The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean. And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that was the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
Did we talk? We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but... Okay, this one might be
Based on the
a
rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Okay, I think I see what bullet I have right for.
Based on the rules, even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true.
That is how the rule...
But that only really applies if there's one murder. In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the act, assuming
The rule holds true. No, it's wrong. Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
I agree. Zephyr made us something that's two murders happened at the same time. Yeah, the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed the fact from the very beginning. Which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate events. Kyoko really is amazing. Although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. It's almost too unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now!
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and then the end to murder him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna think about the person who was really driving the whole situation. And that was Celeste.
Here's my answer.
She was
It
like
was
driving
Celeste.
the whole thing.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that brain-fat, lazy, worthless goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you are working together.
The encountering of the suspicious individual.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush, the adults are talking now.
Damn, Byakuya.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
saw a shadow, something up the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen.
Yeah, she
Next,
drove
to
the
draw
whole
us
thing.
all to the physics lab up on the 3rd floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
It was to get us to divide into 2 groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
Okay, I'm gonna read this part. I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
That wasn't what I thought it was, but yeah.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it.
Okay, this is
but
what they're talking about, and I caught it. I just didn't say
looking
anything.
back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
Okay, I'm gonna read this part. They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die, just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. But what is he alluding to? Okay, come on, guys. You can't seriously be that dense. I'm sorry. You can't seriously be that dense.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. enjoying
The sight of us.
Standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Oh, please tell me I absorbed that bullet.
All I said was,
They must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die. We are going to die.
just and that is all I
And that's all it takes.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said was they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die here.
We are going to die. Just like...
No, it's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died.
Exactly, because
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was
that
dead.
Taka was dead. Plot twist!
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
Exactly.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
Exactly.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took?
She didn't really answer our
How do
question.
you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
She avoided our
It has
question.
to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on, and then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations. It wasn't the picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. The only other possibility.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Yep.
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove there is no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. Is that really possible? Please don't tell me another bullet will metal. No, thank God. I can't do another one, to be honest.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious. There's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
If I remember right, he said she can bend the waist. Okay.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across the boom and you tried to make me look...
Like I said, as you can see in the picture.
The suspect is if the person inside the suit was unconscious. There's no way they could stand up straight like that.
No, it's wrong.
Okay, there we go. I was like unsure. I was like, do I shoot this one or that one?
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Yes, we know. Can it bend the waist?
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake.
Yeah,
I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing.
Yep.
The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Damn.
Celeste? Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying? When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
People's last name, because he always called us
I got it!
Mr. Naegi.
That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
Yep.
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Not necessarily.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name Ludenberg, could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up to them. I have to do something to make her accept it. Please no. Please, for the love of freaking God, do not let that happen. I was like, please. I know what. Yeah, it's gonna be the e-handbook.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is...
Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
What's wrong?
No, that's wrong. That's it. The handbook.
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right?
Yeah.
Monokuma told us all about it before.
And I'm thinking because Shihiro said his real gender, it would definitely say Celeste's real name. Yeah, we get it.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Okay. Final closing argument. Ugh, I hate these things. Okay. So they were asked to meet. What does that say? 1 o'clock? I don't think any of you knew this. Okay. Okay, I forgot how to. Yeah, that's how I spell it. Oh my god, why are there things from the other one in this? That's just gonna make it harder. Okay, let's go back to the beginning real quick. Let me assume that's there. Trying to remember. Okay, I'm assuming. Well, no. Taka was killed with Justice Hammer 3, correct? I'm so confused. I really don't know, like... was it 4? Okay, yeah, it was 4. Sorry. Probably there. So that was 4. That was just 3. Then Hifumi moved the body and killed with this. Maybe? I don't know. We'll have to try.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
Okay, that was right.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
Okay, that was right.
That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. They drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
I really love these comic segments. They're really cool.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes.
Yes. I don't know if this one is right. I guess
So,
we'll see.
next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victim. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that.
I knew it was wrong. Okay. Oh. Duh.
Here's exactly what happened. So, for these attacks, the first there, the killer they want the second this that we felt.
There we go. I'm dumb. I should have figured that.
While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He She
think we
wrapped
got 'em all
Taka's
right,
body in a
except for that
tarp
one that we
and
messed
used the dolly to move it all
That's
the
pretty
way
good.
down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Those scenes are so pretty.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Interesting. Okay. This is a very interesting trial. Very interesting indeed.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote, okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The Blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stupid scheme was Celestia Lutenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I'm gonna speak normal for her now, since she's no longer really Celeste. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would happily agree to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty, don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to him to get him to agree. I know what she did.
So then,
Pretty obvious. Then did you use, you know. I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What are you talking about?
just a second.
Don't interrupt, we're in the middle of a very important conversation. I'm totally out of the loop. How unusual. How sad.
In other words,
And you're the one who stole it.
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into a plan you come up with. Right again? Last night after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are we doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
what? Are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it.
So
And I
then,
have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I found the use for a digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the pictures as soon as I showed it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
Good, so it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for me...
Please forgive me, he threatened me.
Oh.
He did?
As for me...
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. Jesus fucking Christ, Celeste. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
Jesus. That's a crime. An absolute crime. He'd gone a little crazy, but
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you'll be playing right into his hands. Huh?
Actually...
Taka is planning to use her to escape. He has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean. Taka is going to try to kill you. What?
Indeed.
And all so he can keep her to himself. That bastard!
Leon,
Bastard!
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue in these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She...
I swear!
I have to save her.
I will save her!
Actually...
Then, would you like to join me? It just so happens I've come up with a plan. I'd like to point out all the figures that Hifumi has. I've devised a way to reclaim what he's stolen and escape the strapless school. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted that can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt too. All I asked him to do was to make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So why'd you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it?
Let's see...
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. Damn! I feel like I could cry. But when you're explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? She was asking this. What Hifumi was supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live.
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but had barely hung on. And you really believe that? Well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have had an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly right up until the moment of his death.
So in the end...
So you planned to kill him all along. But of course. There would have been no point to my plan if one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead as a cell.
What the heck?
How can a human life mean so little to you?
Well...
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life began here, my only thought has been to escape. All along you were saying how we had to accept living here.
You little bitch!
Obviously that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little bitch!
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? Jesus. And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was the only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge,
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately my dream has been shattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your friends for it?
Oh,
You're asking me if I feel guilty? That is a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
Do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
what is this?
That's what we would be saying, and plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. Conscious deceives the unconscious, and that's why you're not scared.
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice
Isn't
again,
it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey,
You'd just get executed. Celeste smiled then, and when she did that, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
We're all done. Let's get this rolling. The black can disturb the peace and must pay the price.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I
Sorry, I
guess
had
I'll
to
let
do it.
Kyoko hold on to this.
What? This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Perhaps Celeste. I really love Celeste. She is one of my favorites. No doubt about it. I have plenty of favorites though, trust me. Only you can prevent forest fires, Monokuma. It's over. Third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I've considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value in your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Geez, and here I thought you guys were going to pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do you think? What do you... I care about hope. I'll throw it in the trash if it lets me get out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that's reality. That reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
Strange.
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. Anyway, Kyoko, did you have some kind of key-type object from Celeste?
Hey! Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh. How exciting.
Oh man. Oh geez. Oh man. Oh geez. What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's time to get out of here.
Well,
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
see ya later.
See you later. Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey, Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
so...
Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
What then that means? Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes the easiest to miss. It's easiest to miss what's right underneath your nose. Well, then we better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey,
I'm going to go alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
so...
Do you even have to ask? She spoke. As she spoke, she glanced quickly toward the surveillance
Come
camera.
on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Standing here arguing is just gonna draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko alone.
shall
there.
we go?
Yeah.
So then,
Then we need to get into that locker. Kyoko took this key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. Yep, there's Alter Ego. Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might have been able to open the last set of files soon, so maybe as early as tomorrow? I'm doing my best, so please just wait a little while longer. Okay, now we can officially say this case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second? Since we have an opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you doing to all... What are you trying to do all on your own here at school? Is that what you wanted to come here with me?
however,
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know. Just makes me even more worried.
what?
Worried? Like what happened during the investigation this time. You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
it's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too? No. I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then...
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see, what I heard from Kyoko then was... Well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believed in her, she told me a story that was, well, most unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited till nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And there's a storage closet in there, way in the back. She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom, in the storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? Okay. I want this chapter to end before I close out the episode, and I think this is like very close to the end. It's just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. And secretly, Kyoko told me about it. Could it really be hidden here? She said it was way in the back of the storage closet. But I mean, seriously, without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet, and suddenly, as if I were being yanked in. At the same time, as I heard the sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. I had fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out the black wall was like a revolving door, and I'd made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the second floor, there's a storage closet. In the way back of the closet, there's a secret room. Yeah. So this is the secret room. But what's in here? There's a bunch of files that look like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Havoc Academy Student Registry. The only thing in here that's not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file into my hand, but before I had a chance to take a look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file and I turned my attention to it. What's this? You must not leave? That's kind of weird. I could understand if it said, like, I can't leave or but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. This strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them, somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? Huh? Oh shit. A strange sound rang out through my head. Felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth. And then, darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it'd been. Ow. Apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. All the books are gone. An empty bookshelf. Huh? Empty? Gone. It's all gone. The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that had fallen on the floor. It's all gone? What does this mean? And my brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room. Get some rest. Oh, please end the chapter already. My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back to my room. Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. The further I walked, the more I felt. Things were getting blurry, can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself before collapsing right there, and after that... As if from the vast distance I heard a sound. It was a faint, but undeniable. That sound, it was coming from the gym. Oh, I remember this part. Oh no, okay. As I desperately hauled my shaky frame toward the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here in the gym. Let's take a peek, shall we? Let me get a Pikachu, girl. Sorry, Pokemon Go reference. Okay, or Pokemon in general reference. I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Sorry, guys. Oh, shit. Oh my god. That's one candy shot I never wanted to see. Before me, there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. No one's side's not human, that's for sure. But regardless, I could stop staring. I forgot to maneuver.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
The deal.
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be the mastermind spy is... And that is the end of chapter 3. That's where I'm going to end the episode. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like and comment down below. Also, subscribe if you are new to the channel and join the Vampy family. This is a really good series. I love it a lot. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!